Rick, great to see you again.
Hey, good morning, Keith. Good to see you, man.
You too. Thank you. Hey, I thought we'd do a podcast. The title will be called Q-Tip. And let me give you the background on it. Most recently, a couple weeks ago, I was invited to lead new employee orientation at Mayo Clinic in Arizona. The reason being that the normal hosts were unavailable because they were at a retreat in the Midwest. As a result, they asked me to do it, and I said, absolutely, I'm here to serve. And part of the agenda was this culture of safety topic. And it has to do with really having a safe environment for patients, as well as psychological safety to be able to speak and talk without fear of your voice not being heard. And one of the things that the presenter talked about was this acronym called QTIP, which stands for quit taking it personal. And I absolutely love that. You know, people can be easily offended by other people or situations or policies and things like that. And she encouraged everyone to at least start from that premise of Q-tip. So, Rick, what are your thoughts about Q-tip?
Man, I think it's a great idea not to take anything personally. There are some people who go so overboard that they think that they're actually being targeted by fate. This is the second or third time this has happened to me. Or not only did I have a blown tire last week, now my check bounced, and this is just a conspiracy of the universe against me. If you don't stop it at some point, you'll go down that road and you'll just have this entire narrative about how the world is against you and you can't get anything right, and it's unfair and it's not good, and that's so corrosive to our human spirit. So Q-tip to me is the idea that everything in life gives you a chance to take things personally if you want them. You could even take personally the loss of the election. If you felt like your candidate didn't win, you could start going down the road of, well, all the things you could have done, or how misguided everybody else is, all of that nonsense that doesn't get you anywhere. So I think the idea of taking things personally is a black hole of problematic discord. And so the way I would look at it would be, if you take things personally, the only thing that's going to come about is a more callousness, a more thick skin about things that you don't need a thick skin for. Somebody once said that most of life is the art of learning how to be like a duck. With the duck in the rainstorm, the duck just shakes off his feathers and it rolls right off his back. The idea that the pebbles of the rain are just things that you can shake off. And similarly, with our problems that we have every opportunity to say are terrible, you can just shake them off. The four agreements involve that one principle as well, the idea that you don't take anything personally. Always do your best, never assume, never presume. And those are great, great principles. I think it's a rock bottom idea. It frees you so much to me. If I don't take things personally, then I'm not in that tit for tat where I have to hurt you back or I have to let you know something was bad for me and it's really important that you get it and I hurt you to make sure you don't do it again. So anyway, Q-tip, I think, should be a fundamental thing in our lives, that we don't take things personally and leave open the option for all kinds of things about why things occurred the way they did. It could be bad day, it could be somebody suffering beyond your ability to understand. Every person is suffering something. Everybody that you're dealing with is going through something, even though on the surface they may look like they have everything together. So always benefit of the doubt. Never take things personally if you can do that. At least be monitoring yourself. At least be aware of yourself when you start taking things personally. Am I doing this? And what's the outcome? What's the flow that's going to come from this? It's going to be something that's negative to me. Why go through that? You're creating your own suffering. Why? Why?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said, Rick, in terms of taking things personal. That's really the only time I've suffered is when I've
Yeah.
done exactly that, right? If you tie those two things together, is I'm suffering. Why am I suffering? I'm taking this personal. You know, for us, it's an interesting way to think that you're special. Uh, then,
Mm,
then you,
that's a good
yeah,
point. Yeah.
yeah. Then you wake up and you find out that there are over 8 billion other people that are in the same boat, with things happening to them. And the wise ones aren't suffering because they're not taking anything that happens personally. They're just what happens is just what's so. And it's a beautiful way to live when you can get to that point. And the key though is maintaining it. It takes, a commitment every single day that you're going to live a life that's dedicated to cultivating inner peace and love so that you can serve, And I love this, Rick. So I'm going to continue to work on Q-tip in my own life. And hopefully I can be a blessing to other people. Rick, thank you for a great show.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks for including me. See you next time.
See you next time.